If you followed the install instructions on the Radiant documentation page, you should see the following when you start up RStudio. Right, so we'll use RStudio to start the Radiant application, and we'll do that by clicking on this Add-ins dropdown at the top of your screen. Okay. So you'll see in here a couple of different entries in this menu. One that's important is the Update Radiant link, and so when you click that, it'll update Radiant to the latest version. And these 4 entries are links to start the app that we use for different classes at Radiant. So customer analytics for the marketing research class, and this is for quantitative analysis and business analytics. So if we want to start this particular application, we just click it. And you'll see that a command is entered automatically in the command console, and that will open up Radiant in your default web browser. Right? So in this case, for me, that's Chrome, and it's the browser that I would also recommend for you. So Radiant has a bunch of different tabs. This is the tab in which it will open by default, in which you can load and save data. You can also view the data in a tabular form and sort it on multiple columns. You can filter the data. You can visualize the data by creating, for example, a series of histograms and a variety of other things. But we'll talk about those in the class. Now, an important thing to note is, how do you stop Radiant? And so a quick way, of course, is just to close your browser or close the tab window. Now, when you do that, Radiant will think that you're just temporarily closing the browser and might want to open it back up again, or you're just browsing to another site. And so what it'll try to do is make a backup of your current settings. So it's kind of like if you're using Word and it crashes, then it's going to try to save a backup, and then next time you start it up, it's going to try to restore that. That's not the best way to actually save your settings and save your work. In fact, to save your settings and save your work, the best way is to click on the floppy disk icon and then click Save State. But again, this is something we'll talk more about later. So the clean way to stop Radiant is actually to click on the power button here in the nav bar and then click on Stop. Okay? If you do that, your browser should close, at least if it's Chrome, and you'll see that the application has been stopped in RStudio. And if we want to restart it, we can do that just fine. We would just go back and click on Radiant Quant, and it would open up our browser again. Okay? So again, it's a good idea to use the Stop button here, because that'll lead to a clean stop, and it won't try to restore or create any backups. Okay, so you can save. You should definitely save your work using the Save State button. But again, that's something we'll talk more about in class.